disgusting. That's not a curse. That's the secret of their evolution. What they lack in speed or intelligence, they make up for in sheer repulsiveness. In their effort to survive, they've become the creatures of our nightmares.
Out of the swamp's depths appears horrifying, mysterious creatures, thirsting for blood. What is this black menace?
The Amazonian rainforest, oozing with all sorts of nasty creatures, which is exactly what Mark Sedal is looking for. Mark's job is to track them down for the American Museum of Natural History.
There are lots of nasty things in the water here in French Guiana. Electric eels, anacondas, and what I'm looking for, the giant Amazonian leech. Near the coast, there's salt water that comes in and mixes with the fresh water. And leeches, as we all know, don't like salt. So I'm paddling upstream until I know that the water is right for finding leeches.
You can't set traps for these bloodsuckers, but they'll come to you if you use yourself as bait.
Basically, all that's really involved in collecting leeches is rolling up your pant legs and wading into the water, and hopefully these leeches will come towards me once they feel the movement in the water. So I think I should just get in and do it. My guess is that there's got to be something in here. Leeches, especially the giant Amazonian leech, have got all these little bumps that are great for feeling water changing around them. They'll do a little swim coming towards you. He's coming right here. There's one right by that leaf. Let me see. Well, it's a nice leech, but this is not the giant Amazonian leech. So I'm just going to let this guy go and lead a happy leech life.
Over millennia, the leech evolved from a humble worm into a vampire. Some relatives scraped the skin off fish. From there, it wasn't a big leap to feeding on blood. Today's leeches are so efficient, they can hold up to 5 times their body weight in blood. Mark will head deeper into the rainforest, where the leeches lurk just below the surface.
It's a sort of typical Amazonian coastal swamp, and it should be a good spot for the giant Amazonian leech. This particular species, it seems like they can just keep growing as long as they keep getting blood meals. So it gets to be an enormous size. I want to stay in one place, make a little bit of movement, and see if they can home in on my location. And try to attract them to me instead of to whatever else is in here, which I hope stays away from my feet. I feel something. I'm feeling a tickle around my big toe. Oh no. Okay. I can feel them moving. It feels kind of like a tongue. It's kind of going between my toes. And it's not a little one either. Oh, it's kind of squishy. Oh. I think this leech has decided that it's going to feed on me, so I'm going to gently get out of the water so I can have a good look.
Leeches can suck up to 5 times their body weight in blood at a time. The hemoglobin gives them almost all the proteins and minerals they need to survive.
A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that this is the back end of the leech and this is the front end of the leech, but in fact it's quite the opposite. The business end of the leech is the skinny end, and I'll just stick that right into the tissue and start feeding from your veins, or if you're unlucky, your arteries.
The giant Amazonian leech doesn't bite, it stabs, tapping directly into your blood. A leech is unlikely to kill you. They don't consume enough blood. Yet they are still ravenous creatures, and they can always sense when there's food in the water.
If you look closely, you can see all the bumps on the leech's back. When I touch them, they jump right out. These are all the sensory organs that tell them how they can home in on someone wading around in the water. When I was a child, I was absolutely petrified of leeches. I think the reason people are afraid of leeches is because they're stealth. You don't really feel them unless you're paying attention, and then there's this sense of violation that some other animal has decided to draw life from you without your permission.
Especially a black slug-like creature that can grow to the size of your arm.
If you spend a little bit of time and look at them next time they're feeding on you, maybe you'll realize that they're actually quite graceful, beautiful animals.
As they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. While some animals feast on blood, others use it as a weapon. The Sonoran Desert. 120 square miles of heat and dust. Home to one of the strangest creatures on Earth, the horned lizard. To some Native Americans, it's a symbol of strength. With its spiny armor and its horns, it may look like a walking tank, but actually it's fragile. Its best trick is camouflage, laying low and blending into the desert. And when it comes to food, it stalks ants. Targeting the harvester ants, it swallows them whole and alive. But the search for this delicacy often takes them across the open desert, under the eyes of hawks and coyotes, and anything else they stumble across. With perils all around, they have just one trick to survive, but it's a good one. Horned lizards can increase the blood pressure in their heads, rupture the tiny vessels around the eye, and target the blood up to 5 feet away. They only use it against canine predators. It's a kind of chemical warfare, targeted right for their taste receptors. To a dog or coyote, this blood tastes terrible. It doesn't hurt the lizard, but it sure scares their attackers away. Lizard 1, Dog 0.
Hide before it sees it.
Giant lizards do roam the earth. Komodo dragons. These 200-pounders are the world's heaviest lizards. And it's no wonder. They've got a killer appetite. And a mouth full of 60 teeth with serrated edges just like a shark. But they also have a secret weapon, and it's a little gross. Feeding time at New Orleans' Audubon Zoo. And the Komodo dragons are ready. They love to eat, and they are voracious. Today, trainer Jennifer Young is playing chef. And chicken is on the menu. But Komodos will eat anything: mice, rabbits, even other dragons.